Bedrock comrades, we've made it finally. After basically one cancelled update and months of waiting, 1.18 is finally over. We've done it officially on Bedrock Edition. 1.18 is skill. So if you haven't heard by now, 1.18.30 on Bedrock Edition, it's out now. This is kind of a major update. Brings a lot of really cool, big new things. Today, let's treat this thing like a snapshot and break it down. Smash like for more Bedrock update videos and subscribe. Or else. Bedrock Update 1.18.30, the major things that we're looking at here are seriously major. The menu, completely revamped. Seeds, 64-bit. We have a Combat Update V, I don't know, we'll call it 1.5, and then some hunger changes as well. Whoa, 1.19 things. Hold on a minute. Let's start there. So cameraman, angle up to the top of the screen. You see that right there, beta 1.19.0.24. I'm sorry, I'm not unenrolling in the beta. It's way too much of a hassle in the preview. I mean, it still needs work, so yep, sorry. But it's fine, we're friends. For now, we will let it slide. So let's talk about 1.19 inside of 1.18.30. We actually have some 1.19 features bundled into this update behind the experimental feature toggle. So that's gonna mean you update your game, jump into survival, you won't exactly be able to find the Warden quite yet, or Chest Boat, LA, Skulk Shriek, or anything like that. However, if you play with experimental toggles on, they're absolutely, definitely here. Now these wild update things, they won't exactly be like the most up-to-date version. No Warden Sonic Boom as far as I know. If you're waiting for the 1.19 update like me, then this is an amazing sign. This basically means that these features are getting closer to being finished. They're stable enough to be in a major release. In this one, I won't be going into the specifics of this wild update stuff because we've been talking a lot about it. If you want to know how the Warden works, well, then check out yesterday's video. It was fire. What I will do for you here is talk about the specific things that are behind that experimental toggle if you want to check them out. We're looking at the Deep Dark Biome, Ancient Cities, Warden, Skulk Blocks, Darkness, the LA, Chest Boat, Goat Horn, Axe Changes, and hold on.
What?
Before we talk about that specifically, what's missing, it looks like Mangrove Wood, the Mangrove Swamp Biome. Those are the major missing things. And guys, I'm getting nervous for fireflies. I hope they're still going to be a thing. All experiments are experimental, but some experiments are even more of an experiment. Spectator game mode. If you haven't heard yet, the Spectator is coming to Bedrock Edition. So I haven't made a video on this quite yet, but this is potentially a gigantic deal. With Spectator mode coming to Bedrock, this is the setup for hardcore Minecraft. For a hardcore world, once you die, you're done. You need to be able to spectate it. If Spectator mode exists, you see what I'm saying? This is a Java parody thing. Java players have had this for like the longest time. Spectator mode, if you don't know, is basically like ghost mode. You can fly around in your world and just basically look at things. Find the caves, find the structures. Yeah, look at things. Now the thing with spectator mode is you're a ghost. You're completely invisible, except you're not on third person on Bedrock Edition. And if you want to move smoothly, you need to go into creative mode and be flying first. If I'm in creative mode and not flying, like on the ground, I go into spectator right here. I can't go up or down or anything. I can basically move like straight, and I can go straight through blocks, but no going up and down. Spectator is buggy right now. According to the changelog in the official Minecraft Twitter account, Spectator will not make it into the game until after the wild update at some point, but it's a work in progress and it's here. If you want to check it out, type /gamemode6. The Bedrock menus are bad. Until today. Brand new menus inside of the Bedrock 1.18.30 update. Chef's kiss of menus. This is the best menu of all time. Look at this thing. It's so clean. Now these menus are slowly rolling out, which means your version of the game might not have them quite yet, but look at this. So this is the creative world menu right here. We have world name, we have the options right there, and they're all explained too, which is really cool. Same with the difficulty right there. Now these menus over here, we can scroll through some different options that we have. These are like customizing the world. Then we have multiplayer settings. We have cheats right there, like creative mode, always stay, stuff like that. Resource packs, behavior packs, and then finally, experiments. If you have no internet connection, like this is your first time online, then this is the first time you're seeing this right here, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful. But if you've been following the Bedrock update stuff, then you might kind of be familiar with these things. They're just so perfect. There's explanations for everything. It's wonderful. Best menu of all time. Easy. Bedrock Update 1.18.30 is kind of like Combat Update V 1.25. It's not quite big enough to be like half of a combat update, definitely not a full combat update, but there are some significant changes here. Change number one, let's say this was another player, and let's say that player was holding the shield. Then let's say I ran up to that player holding the shield with my axe and hit the player while they were trying to block. Well, the shield is now disabled for 5 seconds. But that was all just imagination. In reality, I'm just abusing villagers. We've got some armor changes in this update. Armor toughness. Armor toughness is something coming to Bedrock from Java Edition. Basically, it's how armor calculates damage. Diamond armor and netherite armor now have toughness value of 2 and 3 respectively, and netherite armor will now reduce more damage than diamond armor. In survival Minecraft, what changed? Well, not too much. Aside from the calculation mechanics, visually here, everything's going to look the same. It's kind of a complex, in-depth mechanic, but essentially what's going on here is armor is actually going to protect a little bit less now. And netherite armor, unfortunately, a little bit less knockback protection too. If you're interested in all the specifics for these combat changes, here they are right here. As you can see, this is like a list. It's a really big list. Inside of this list, we have a little bit of like bug fixing going on, like stalagmite fixes, blaze fireball stuff, but also we're looking at all of the new combat mechanics as well. Not gonna lie, this makes me really wonder about Combat Update V2. It's been like 2 years now. Villagers, we have some villager updates inside of this update as well. Some of these updates have to do with trades that these villagers have. Some of these other updates have to do with villager behaviors, like villagers no longer sharing seeds or beetroot seeds. They share the food. The type of boat that the fisherman villager will sell is now directly related to the villager's home biome. The weaponsmith enchanted iron sword trade has moved to the novice level. The armor or diamond trade has been moved to the journeyman level. And the clerics now offer glowstone instead of glowstone dust. We're also looking at a handful of bug fixes inside of there as well. Moving on, hunger changes. Does this update have them? Ah, yes, smart question. It absolutely does. Exhaustion levels inside of this update are now in parity with Java Edition. Big shout out Minecraft Wiki, truly the best. This chart, it's beautiful. It sums it up perfectly. You've got the old exhaustion rates, the new exhaustion rates, the thing you're doing to get exhausted, and the units. Truly, they're all here. It's a pretty big update with a lot of parity things, definitely a lot of bug fixes. Can't really talk about them all, but if I were to not talk about this one, well, simply put, it would be illegal. Shulker duplication, an amazing Java Edition mechanic. It's over on Bedrock Edition as well. I challenge you, update your game 1.18.30, go to the end, raid an end city, and just experience it. Check it out in survival. The shulkers will duplicate. Now, the mechanic here is kind of straightforward, but also complex. Basically, shulker number A, shulker number B, let's say, shot a projectile at A and then hit it. Well, then it has the chance to duplicate if there's an open spot. When it duplicates, basically you have a new shulker. Yeah. Shulker breed. Now, to be clear, this isn't going to happen every single time a bullet hits a shulker, but it can happen. And the fact that it can happen is amazing. This makes shulker shells actually renewable now. You can set up a farm for this. It's pretty tricky, though. Here are some block changes that have happened in this update. One significant one that you might actually notice is this one right here. Changed block take rates for cactus and then these other things right here. Some of this might affect your farms. You might start seeing some different rates. So there's a lot here inside of this update. When it comes to bug fixes, you've got tons and tons and tons. Tons of parity changes as well. There's a lot of changes. We can't talk about them all, but there is one gigantic one that I haven't talked about quite yet. We're going to wrap up today's update video with a little bit of world seed talk. World seeds on Bedrock Edition, they're now 64-bit seeds. That's going to go from this obnoxiously large number to this obnoxiously large number. When it comes to seed parity on Bedrock Edition, this is gigantic. This is huge. This means that a Bedrock Edition seed is now consistently going to be exactly the same as the Java Edition one, or at least in theory it should be. Java has been on 64-bit seeds since essentially forever. In-game, what does that mean? Are we talking like different world generation or something? No, that was for the 1.18 update. All that we're really looking at here is Java seed parity, which means the seeds are longer and the world should always match every single time. Bedrock 1.18.30, combat changes, hunger changes, shulker duplication, villager changes, and so much more. That's it for today. If there's something big that I missed somehow, definitely drop that down below. While you're headed down there, smash like, subscribe. Tomorrow should hopefully be Snapshot Day. I'll see you then. Goodbye, everyone.